Today is June 19, 2022. I am awaiting to departing from Montreal Airport to Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport in France. Just arrived at the Paris International Airport 20 minutes ago. People here seems to be very relaxed. My next flight to Warsaw in Poland will be departing at 8:50 a.m. Didn't sleep all night last night. Behind me is one of the terminals that I will be attending for my flight from Paris to Warsaw in Poland. And as you can see, it's pretty good actually. My terminal, my gate will be somewhere over there. You can see the airport as the airplane taking off from the runway. This flight will take me to Warsaw International Airport in Poland. Today is July 20th, around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, inside the Warsaw train central stations. And you can see the building is very nicely decorated. And one thing noticing that most of the people here in the stations does not require or wearing masks for COVID-19. About 4 hours into the train journey, I am arriving in Poland's second largest city, Kharkov. Hopefully you can see my back, showing the train station's name. Now I am 2 train stations before arriving at the Przemyśl train station. This is my last station before getting to Przemyśl stations. So far the ride is very long and kind of a little bit boring because most of the landscape are agriculture. Hopefully when I get to the Przemyśl stations, I can see some historical building of the city. Arrive at a bus stop across the World Central Kitchens facility. And across me now is the World Central Kitchens facility. And you may be able to see that there is a flag, a post indicate that facility inside. Well, finally, I arrived at the facility. A typical workday sequence at the World Central Kitchen is that there is a morning meeting, morning working hour, lunch, afternoon working hours, and end of day gathering.
All right, I love it. I love it. Guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. My gosh, y'all had so much tenacity, poise, and grit today. It was absolutely inspiring. Much love, guys. So, with that being said, sandwiches on three, sandwiches on three. 1, 2, 3, sandwiches!
I forgot to mention there are also 1 or 2 15-minute breaks throughout the day, depends on how hot the temperature in the kitchen. During my week in the World Central Kitchen, the outside temperature sometimes reached 97 to 99 degrees. So the temperature in the kitchen will be more than the outside temperature due to no air conditioning in the kitchen. You can go.
It's very interesting to know your opinion, how it's changed during few months, and also for those who were here only for the first week. Also, we want to hear your opinion. How was your week? Because on Monday we were speaking about expectations, so now we want to know how was your week, and just tell us some your feelings, maybe your experience. What have you learned during this week? First.
So first week back, and was here early May, and smaller group, but my God, I feel like this group just like crushed it. Everybody just like stepped in when something needed to be done. There was like, it was like unspoken. It was wonderful. Good group, really good group.
When I volunteer for things, I find you usually show up for the cause and then stay for the people. So this is definitely an example of that.
I thought it was an extremely awesome group of people and just an insanely well-oiled machine. I mean, it works perfectly. Everything goes without a hitch. And it's amazing that we can make 700 sandwiches. I mean, that's just astounding. So you guys really, the organization here is spectacular.
I also wanted to say specifically about the chefs who come here and left their restaurants behind in other people's hands, left their businesses behind, aren't making any money, work weeks without a day off. it's just like elevates their profession to such an incredible level. I've just been blown away by it, and also the chefs who are willing to stand on the line with us civilians. It's been amazing.
Carrie made me a better sandwich wrapper.
I'll never forget Tom's.
And a better person.
And a better. That goes without saying.
I think I'll just say that I said this last time I was here, because I've done the week before. And this time I'm the only European. And I think last time there were only 3 Europeans. And this is a European war. The fact that Americans are coming all this way at significant expense, I appreciate, to help us out. It's a really great thing, a really good gesture. We're very grateful for making that effort.
I have never been a part of something that ran so smoothly. So I was the director of catering at Microsoft, and I did events for 20,000 people in big venues. But this shut us down there. I mean, this was just doing the salami. I mean, I felt like I could be a dealer. I had a future in Vegas for sure. It was awesome. Yeah. And it very including the sanitation aspect. I'm impressed with under the circumstances. Yeah. Yeah. The first time I showed up, that Zamboni guy was driving around. I was just practically, I had I had something I can't really say in public because of shit, very funny matters, but I was very excited to see that. Okay, well, I was Zamboni boner. It was beautiful. I was like amazed. Sorry,
The guy from northern Wisconsin wouldn't know that.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Also, I want to tell you that before coming here, I knew that a lot of people, they want to support Ukraine. But when I came here 3 months ago, I understood, and like every week I'm understanding all the time that there are a lot of people who wants to come here. They want to stop everything like in their home and just buy tickets and come here. For us, it's incredible. Thank you so much for this.
Guys, you did hard, tedious work in a hot warehouse, and you still moved with urgency, purpose, and vigor. You should be very proud of yourselves for giving a minute, an hour, a week. It doesn't matter. All of this stuff is going to a higher cause and a very good one. So give yourselves that. Give yourselves credit. You all did exceptional today and every day before.
All right.
Almost all people did distribution this week, but I have 3 presents for people who don't have t-shirts. So, first one for Susan. You will be here for 2 more weeks, but today is Sunday, the last day of this week. Thank you so much.
All right.
Katie, this is for you. Thank you so much. And the last one is for Jim. Yay! And we will see a lot of people next week. It's very good for us because, as you know, because of the situation in the US, a lot of flights were cancelled. That's why we lack of volunteers next week. So we really appreciate that a lot of people stay with us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
July 3rd, 2022 was my last day at the World Central Kitchen. We have a group picture taken in the kitchen. Today is July 3rd, Sunday. I am at the train station at Przemyśl, Poland. Today, now is 9 o'clock a.m. and it is already full of people waiting to get back to Ukraine. Okay, well, today is July 3rd, and today is my last day at the World Central Kitchen, serving as platform number 4, here where we serve the Ukrainian refugee with food that we prep at the kitchen. And this station closed at 11 o'clock. Throughout the journey, one of the difficulties I faced was the transitioning from one train to the next train. It was due to the language barrier and not having enough time allowed me to find the correct train to go on to the next city. When travel abroad to Poland and Ukraine, I suggest to store medicines and important papers in 2 different containers. Bring spare cellular phone, chargers, and a universal power plug adapter to convert the 220 volt to 110 volt. The time travel from Warsaw to Przemyśl, Poland is about 6 hours and 3.75 hours if you travel from Kharkov to Przemyśl, Poland, and 11 hours from Przemyśl, Poland to Kyiv, Ukraine. So get the first class train ticket if you can afford it. The US and Poland cellular phone SIM cards that you stored away securely are needed when you get back to Poland and US to make calls. On July 6, I was given an opportunity to serve Ukrainian refugees again in Irpin, a city in Ukraine. This facility was supported by the KAPITACCNEC chapter. The facility provides not only food and daily required living materials for the refugees. Many local volunteer doctors were also there to provide medical examination for the refugees.
It's called the International Charitable Fund for the Development of Medicine.
Right,
They have been active in Ukraine since for 26 years,
right,
and since 10 they are a partner of Caritas Spes and organize these centers. Maybe in this office right there, people come to get social assistance.
right.
They leave us their phone number.
Sure, yeah.
And they also has a housing program. Then in this aid we have the medical facilities. So here people can get can come for general checkups.
General checkup.
Based on the availability of these doctors. Same here and there. We have specialized doctors coming in, gynecologist. This one's still right now. So we have over there. See, and then so these women are already waiting for patients.
Hi.
It's video. Americans. And yeah, we also keep renovating these rooms.
So who's in terms of financially support, is only one organization that support all of this, or do we have like any financial support from the from the national like Red Cross?
Well, this one is mainly supported by the funds of the International Charitable Fund for Development of Medicine. The doctors are all volunteers. They are not being paid, so they come in on their availability. They tell us, and then we tell people who need those specific doctors to come based on their times. And there, for example, there's an ophthalmologist who comes in for 4 hours every couple days per week. Just a few days ago, these were installed, and maybe I can show you the plans that we have for this kitchen. Let me just check if I can find it. Is supposed to look like afterwards, and for this we have funds from France and Luxembourg coming in, private funding to help build up that kitchen as soon as possible, because as soon as the renovation is done, we want people to be able to cook as well.
Depends on a particular day of the week. In average, this facility serves about 50 to 100 families in a day. On the way to Bucha, road blockage are still placed on the road. These blockage are there to slow down Russian tanks or armored vehicles advancing into Kyiv. July 9, 2022, I am standing here at the bridge in Irpin. This bridge was destroyed by Ukrainian soldiers to stop Russian aggression to advance into Kyiv during the first week of the unprovoked war in Ukraine. People can clearly see stores were destroyed. Many destroyed cars were piled up at an empty lot on the street. At the time of this video take place, the bridge is being slowly rebuilt. Pile of burned vehicles were brought here in this formerly rest area from other locations in the city where they were destroyed. Some of these vehicles show signs of being shot at by firearm, machine guns, as well as from the consequence of selling by the Russian invaders. The Retroville shopping mall that was bombed in early of the unprovoked war by Russians, which led to 8 people were killed. The damaged building in the shopping mall is now in its early phase of restoring. Many windows of the nearby apartment building were spared from the shelling or destroyed. When I arrived in the city, I saw many buildings were completely burned down. A few high-rise apartment buildings were spared from the bombardment of Russian army. However, many windows of these buildings were damaged and no one lived in these buildings. A few buildings were damaged in the middle sections. It seems like these buildings were exploded from inside out. Perhaps Ukrainian soldiers or Ukrainian citizen fighters were hiding in these buildings to fight the Russian soldier. Hence, they were destroyed by Russian soldiers.
We were here before. Were we here before?
In these sections of video clips, you see blocks after blocks of houses were destroyed in the city of Bucha and Irpin. Many apartment buildings were destroyed due to shelling by the Russian soldiers trying to capture the capital city of Ukraine, Kyiv. Most of the siding of this building were plummeted to the ground. If you watch this video carefully, you see many hoses appear on the front side of this building. They indicated heavy fighting between the Russian invaders and Ukrainian soldiers in these cities. As this video was filmed, few Ukrainians came back to their home to salvage whatever left after the fighting. As I drove through these streets, many shopping markets were turned into ghost buildings. No people or cars are in these shopping markets.
У мене улипка, але це защитна реакція на стрес, тому що мене всі трусять від такого питання, тому що мені прийшлося їхати разом з дітворою, з маленькою дітворою. Мій маленький син досі не розмовляє із-за цих вистрілів, звуків, гранат, градів. І коли нам приходилося вставати ночі, падати на пол, це був не варіант. І нам прийшлося уїхати. З міста Константинівка, Донецька область, там дуже було тяжко, там були ежедневні взриви, кожен день діти дуже здригалися, падали на пол, нам приходилося теж проводити інструктаж, якщо там родителі погибли або втратили, що робити, якщо там взриви на вулиці, що робити, що треба робити. То, що діти були дуже напугані, і ми були вимушені покинути нашу домівку, наші школи, садочки, наш первичний уклад життя, і приїхати, скитатися по Україні. Я сподіваюся, що це скоро вже закінчиться, і ми не будемо вимушені їхати за кордон.
July 5th, 2022, afternoon in the heart of Kyiv. Behind me is a statue that currently covers with sandbag to protect it from shelling. Behind me, there's a flag and there's a word, the Ukrainian reaching out to the world for help. Are you sitting at home comfortably watching TV, or are you doing something for supporting Ukrainian?